Hello, I'm Granville Emerson, and welcome to Lidline Sports with my co-host, Seattle sports enthusiast, Renault Bean. We call him Pepe. What up, Pep?
Hey, what be up, Coach?
I know what be down. That's the left side of my bracket. My bracket got nuked like Kim Jong, whatever his name got after it.
Kim Jong-un? Right.
From North Korea.
Hey, a lot of people's brackets got nuked. I don't do them anymore.
Man, that's the fun part of the whole thing is doing your bracket, man. I think that regardless of the way it turns out, if you do a bracket every year, you have human interest. I mean, I find myself rooting for teams that I would not otherwise root for. I mean, I have no stake in something like, or somebody like Seton Hall, but if I pick them, I'm in front of the TV like, come on, Seton Hall.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so...
well, I picked the Final Four, and then I pick a sleeper, and my sleeper is still awake, Michigan, so... I'm
Michigan,
doing all right there.
They will be awake until their next game.
They play Oregon.
Yeah.
I'm not impressed.
Okay. You should be.
No.
Oregon is on a mission, baby.
Mm-hmm. And Michigan ain't?
They're both on a mission.
Okay.
They're on a collision.
All right.
On a collision mission. Oregon and...
Is Oregon better than Louisville?
I think they are. I think they are. I think the Pac-12 is underrated. Very much so.
Okay.
The ACC all year long was the number one ranked conference, and they only got one team left.
One.
Right? Out of all those teams.
That's true.
Right?
North Carolina.
Right? That's it.
That's it.
And the Pac-12 has what?
Oregon, Arizona,
UCLA. Right?
Mm-hmm.
3. They won 8 out of 9 games over the weekend.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Pac-12, regardless of what our University of Washington Huskies are doing, and we'll get to them later.
Oh, boy.
But we'll talk more about the NC2A basketball tournament known as March Madness, and it has been a maddening tournament, especially for those who lived in New York and thought they were going to see a Duke. What was the big matchup? It would be Duke and Villanova.
Yes.
Yeah, Duke and Villanova. And that match will not happen. Villanova choked, and I had them going all the way to the Final Four.
Oh, so did I.
But they let me down.
Big time.
Big time.
Lost to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I got a friend that's a big Wisconsin fan, so congrats to them.
Wisconsin has been playing well. I mean, I got to give Wisconsin a whole lot of
Those
props.
bigs. You know, they got those bigs, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they've been playing very well, and I was really impressed by the way Wisconsin has been playing, but more about that later.
yeah.
We want to move on and talk about the hottest story going on in the area of the country where we live, Seattle, Washington, the firing of my friend, Lorenzo Romar, head men's basketball coach at the University of Washington. 15 years of service.
Yes.
2 Sweet 16s.
Yes.
The best record in the history of the University of Washington men's basketball, and he was dumped on this past Thursday. Your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are, well, first of all, I'm not going to bash the man. He had a good career here, great career here, actually. Overall, he was 298 and 196. Overall, in his total career, he's 58% as a coach. I mean, we're not talking Krzyzewski numbers or Dean Smith, but those are very good numbers for the universities he's been to. He's been to Pepperdine, St. Louis, and now University of Washington. He's got 9 seasons where he's won 20 or more. He had 6 seasons of 20 or more and 3 seasons of 19 wins. So that gives you overall 9 seasons of 20-plus wins. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's good.
The problem is the last 6 seasons, he hasn't made the tournament.
Yeah.
And this season, they bottomed out.
The marker is 6 seasons not making the tournament, and the horrendous year that they had this year with arguably the number 1 pick in the draft, Markelle Fultz. A lot of things went wrong for Romar in his 6 years. There's the year that they should have made the tournament, Isaiah Thomas's junior year before he went hardship, where they won the Pac-12. and did not get selected.
That was crazy.
Yeah, they got robbed.
Yes.
That didn't help them. And then last year, they probably would have made the tournament if they would have called a traveling call on dude in the Oregon State game when he hit the three.
Right.
When he hit the three with travel
he did.
to win the game. And so things kind of worked against him. And then this year, 13 straight losses, 9 total wins. Hard to argue for him to stay.
9-22.
Even though he had the top recruiting class in the University of Washington history. I mean, he went out and got some great players, starting with Michael Porter Jr., the #1 player in the nation. By the way, Michael Porter Jr. was named the Naismith Player of the Year.
Yes.
Brandon Roy, the Naismith Coach of the Year. And the Nathan Hale Raiders, the Naismith Team of the Year.
There you go.
That's quite a season for Brandon Roy.
That's pretty awesome.
I guess that's what happens when you have the #1 high school player in the nation.
That's right.
And surround him with some talented
I'm not
kids.
mad at him.
I'm not mad at him either. I say props to him. He went 29-0.
Yeah, and they didn't play cupcakes now.
It's hard to go undefeated, period.
It is.
At any level, on any team, it is hard to go undefeated.
Hey, but they went back east and played some teams.
They did.
So
they played competition.
Don't think that they stayed up here, up cozy Northwest, playing cupcakes. They did not do that.
They played tough competition at the Les Schwab in Portland.
Portland?
That's in the Northwest, by the way. Portland, giving you props. so yeah, they played competition, and he's coached his way through some close games.
Absolutely.
So I watched him make some decisions, coaching decisions during the game, most notably against Garfield in the district tournament, when Garfield was just taking them to the hoop. Like, they spread the floor, they were taking him off the dribble, they couldn't stop him, they switched to his own. I give him props for that. Because so many people, so many coaches that play man-to-man, they get this macho thing that they can't play zone. I'm like trying to play whatever I need to play to win.
Well, I'll tell you what, with this new coach here at Washington, Hopkins, you're probably going to see some zone.
For those of you who don't know what Pep was talking about, the University of Washington Huskies hired long time, like 22 years.
22.
Assistant to Jim Boeheim, Mike Hopkins. Coach Hopkins now, the head coach of the University of Washington men's basketball team, gave a lot of props to Lorenzo Romar.
Yes.
He respects Romar and what he's done. He's come to town. As soon as he got off the airport and walked off the plane, he started going to work. I understand from a close friend of mine that he met with John Davis, John, and Jalen Rose on Sunday to try to get them to stay. Jalen Rose, yeah, that's the dude on ESPN.
Well, if he's meeting him, must be for a coaching position.
Not Jalen Rose. There we go with the names, Granville.
Jalen Noel.
Jalen Noel. Both of them from Garfield High School here in Seattle. Top 100 ESPN high school players. And that's his first order of business to try to get them to stay. Blake Harris, the point guard, celebrated point guard out of North Carolina, asked for his release this week from his letter of intent.
Oh, okay.
So he will not be coming to the University of Washington, doesn't look like. Also, DeJounte Porter asked for his release. He wasn't scheduled to come until 2018. There had been talk because he was homeschooled that he would reclassify and enroll in 2017, but he has been released from his letter of intent. And so now it's just out of that celebrated class, Dejon Davis, Jalen Noel, and we're waiting on the big guy, Mamadou Diarra. Mamadou Diarra is a 3-star player who's supposed to be very talented as well. Plays on the outside and inside. He's from 22 Feet Academy in Greensville, Mississippi.
Okay.
Oh, Greensville, South Carolina.
And that was one thing that seemed to elude Romar was the quality big man. He never seemed to get that guy that he needed to solidify that team. Because, you need a big man to be able to have some skill, or if he's not offensively proficient, at least block shots and rebound, which he's had a few of those. However, they weren't able to either stay or they would get injured. So he hadn't had any luck with the big men, and that was part of the downfall as well.
Yeah, there was a while that he didn't recruit too many big men. The style of play that they won with, where they were kind of like the old Arkansas team, 40 minutes of hell, where they pressed and trapped all over the floor. He won with really good guards.
Right, and he had his center act kind of like a goalie because he had some shot blockers,
right,
but little else.
Right. Well, it didn't help that the one kid that came from California left, got kicked off the team. His name escapes me right now, but the big kid, the big 7-footer Upshaw,
Robert
Upshaw, very skilled big man.
Definitely.
But he just succumbed to Mary Jane, like unfortunately so many players have done. He got drafted by the Lakers. Haven't heard from him, so he must still be struggling with that issue. But he was a very talented big man. Led the nation in block shots games with the University of Washington. So Lorenzo has had some things not go his way, and that really is all it takes for your demise, is for you to have a succession of things that go wrong for you.
Right.
I'll be forever appreciative of Coach Lorenzo Romar as a young Seattle coach, moving to Seattle from Los Angeles and taking up high school coaching in Seattle. He hired me to work his basketball camps, gave me access to all of his practices. I could go to any University of Washington practice whenever I wanted to. I took full advantage of that.
Sure, why not?
Before our season every year in the month of October, I would go to UW practices and watch them and learn from him, the conversations we had, and then just being able to call up and say, hey, can I come to the game tonight? And the answer would always be yes. And so,
well, that's wonderful.
Free tickets behind the bench.
Kudos to him for that.
Yeah, so
because he didn't have to do any of that.
He was the man in the community, and he didn't just do it for me. He did it for others and those that requested it. So he was a good dude. He'll be missed. He will be back on another bench somewhere. If I was him, I would take a year off and enjoy that $3.2 million check that the University of Washington got to cut him within the next 25 days.
That's right.
He'll be $3.2 million richer for his troubles.
For sure.
And there's rumors that he's going to be on the LA Clippers bench. We'll see what comes of that. But now it's the Mike Hopkins era at the University of Washington. He also signed this point guard out of Mater Dei, Spencer Friedman, 2018 recruit. That's his first. Mm-hmm. He didn't sign him, actually. He offered him.
Okay.
All right, there's a big difference between offering and signing. It takes a lot more work to sign somebody than it does to offer. But I am hoping that he goes after West Seattle's Nate Pryor.
Oh, man. I would love that.
Yeah. Nate Pryor was committed to the Seattle University, and since Cameron Dollar was also let go.
Yeah, it looks like Romar took his thunder. Kinda.
Kinda. But he's released from his LOI, and so, or should be released from his LOI. I believe he's a better guard than Seattle U.
Yes.
Level.
Definitely. Nate Pryor he's a maestro on the court.
Yeah.
The guy is just, man, he's a point guard. I mean, if you want a point guard, that's who he is. That's what he is.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I've coached against him. He is, yes, the word is maestro. He controls the game.
I saw him as a 7th and 8th grader and knew right then, oh, this guy's, he's got it.
Yeah.
Kids, you know when certain kids just have it, and he has it.
Yeah, he knows how to control the game. Whatever tempo you want to play, he can play it. Mm-hmm. He can create his own shot. He's a willing passer, and he's a willing defender.
Definitely.
Pretty good defender at that. And there's a lot to say about that. My interest in going forward, Michael Porter, he has not committed or not said anything about what he's going to do about his letter of intent, but they have gotten rid of everything that has to do with the University of Washington off of all of their social media sites.
Right.
So you would imagine that he's not coming back. But my question with Michael Porter Jr., to go with what we're talking about, Nate Pryor, is can he play defense on the ball? We know he can block shots off the ball.
Sure.
But can he or will he play defense? And I was watching, we were talking in earlier broadcasts about, comparing him with Lonzo Ball.
Right.
Lonzo Ball plays defense.
Yes, he does.
And that dude hustles. Did you see the game yesterday?
I missed it.
Man, this dude was chasing down people on the break. He was, going after people and making them turn the ball over out of bounds. That guy, man, he does it all. So I'll be interested to see what happens with Michael Porter, where he goes. Michael Porter Jr., his dad is rumored to be assistant coach at California with Quanzo Martin.
Missouri.
Quanzo Martin leaving California to take the job at Missouri.
Right.
And Michael Porter Sr. allegedly becoming an assistant there.
Basically going back home. Yeah. That's where they're from.
Columbia, Missouri. So I'll be interested in seeing what happens to Michael Porter Jr. there. He'll be surrounded by nobody. It'll be the Michael Porter show. He might need Jonte to reclassify and join him there for sure. So they'll have somebody. But it'll be interesting to see. Also, what will be interesting to see here in Seattle is Mike Hopkins. And if he's able, it looks to me like he is a very good basketball teacher.
Yes.
And motivator.
Right.
So my question will be, is he an effective game manager?
Right.
That's the next step. That's what separates.
And make good decisions during those games, of course.
Yeah, that's part of
the management. Yes.
To me, that's what makes an overall good coach. You got to be able to do those three things. You got to be able to teach, motivate, and manage games.
Right. Make adjustments, all that.
Yeah. I mean, you got to put the right players in at the right time. You got to make the right strategical moves.
Yeah, I mean, off the air, you gave me some good insight about managing games and timeouts and what happens with certain situations. I think we even talked about that earlier in a broadcast about, things that happen where you get too many players on the court, things of that nature. So you got to manage all that kind of thing.
Yeah. So that's to be determined, and so we look forward to seeing what Mike Hopkins will do as the head coach of the University of Washington, what the season will be like next year for 17-18.
We could probably say next season won't be very good, but it won't be his fault.
Yeah.
I mean,
it could be his fault. If they go 3-28, that's a problem. It could be.
Yeah, but it could be more than likely.
And more than likely, it won't be his fault. But we'll see. I'm hopeful that he's able to keep some players and that the group of kids that are still there, along with the ones that will come in, will be able to do some things. And so what I like about it is he is willing and eager. And sometimes it comes down to motivation and putting players in the right position and motivating them and having them overachieve.
Right.
So
let's not forget that he was actually the heir apparent to Jim Boeheim. So that says something.
Yeah, he was heir apparent in name only because Jim wasn't going nowhere.
Well, he's supposed to actually retire after next year.
He just signed a new contract yesterday.
Well, yesterday, yeah. But as of Sunday when it happened, so Jim said, I guess I better stay.
Jim is going to the grave as a Syracuse University head coach. I ain't mad at him.
More power to him. He deserves it.
Switching to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question for you.
Yes, you do. Go ahead.
Why did they really need to involve the FBI to find Tom Brady's jersey?
Oh, man. No. You're asking me a question. I don't know the answer to that. If someone out there knows the answer, please let us know.
I'm all choked up behind that, man. They need to find out if the Russians was involved in the election Not where Tom Brady's jersey was, man. Really? They went all the way down to Mexico and found out some Mexican dude stole Tom Brady's jersey and had a bunch of jerseys on top of that.
Right.
I'm like, wow, what a use of taxpayer resources.
Yeah, I was floored by that.
But to the topic at hand, your thoughts on Marshawn Lynch coming out of retirement? Possibly.
Well, I'm not surprised. I said this, when he retired, that he's probably going to take a year off, then come back and try to get with the Raiders. I mean, it's not a well-kept secret.
All right. Well, I don't think he's coming back.
Okay.
We'll see. I just think that Marshawn right now is chilling. He's said to be in Canada right now. His agent said he hadn't talked to him as little as 2 hours ago. Said he hadn't talked to him at all. He doesn't know what Marshawn would do.
So you think maybe somebody from the Raiders organization did a little...
No, I think the Raiders want Marshawn.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So they want Marshawn, and someone probably talked to Marshawn's friend, and Marshawn's friend probably said, yeah, Marshawn probably, he want to play. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so now they got a source to say Marshawn is interested in playing with the Raiders. You know how that goes. Right. So, I mean.
It's also said that he was up here trying to get the Seahawks to give him his release because they still hold his rights.
Yeah, I mean, for Marshawn to go to the Raiders, a number of different things have to happen. Number one, the Seahawks have his rights. He would have to pay back the $5 million that the Seahawks gave him to leave in good faith. Mm-hmm. He had to pay that back. Somebody had to pay it back, Oakland or him. It's been rumored that...
Or maybe they can hit up Romar for a loan.
Romar ain't giving up nothing.
No.
So there's been a rumor I heard that he only has to pay back $2.5 million. So he'd either have to sign with... Seattle would have to release him and then sign with Oakland as a free agent, or Seattle would have to trade him. So there's no way Seattle's just going to release him.
No.
If he comes back to play, they're going to want compensation for him.
Absolutely.
So
why wouldn't they?
No, I mean, yeah, you'd have to get compensation.
Right.
If you have the rights to anybody, you're like, give me a 6th-round pick,
mm-hmm.
right? Whatever. I need something, but I don't know. Marshawn's worth probably more, at least maybe a 5th or 4th-round pick. I don't know. But they would have to get something, and then there's the question of Marshawn paying back the money. So I don't see Marshawn paying back the money.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see the Raiders being able to afford giving Seattle a pick. They would pay Marshawn probably somewhere between $4 and $5 million for one season. And so if he had to pay back 2.5, what's he making?
Yeah.
He's making $1.5 million.
Yeah, that's nothing. Yeah.
So the net on that doesn't seem like he's going to come back, but stranger things have happened. That's my thought on that whole situation. As much as I love Beast Mode, and I think that it's really a Beast Mode marketing ploy. Keep his name out there, right?
Why not?
He's got stores he's just opened up.
Yes.
He's selling Beast Mode product. Keep his name out there, and it's just good for his brand.
Yes.
Right? As long as they talk of Marshawn Lynch, you're thinking Beast Mode, and his brand is getting free advertisement. Word of mouth advertising is the best advertising.
It is. Proven.
Well, speaking of running backs, about last week I called him Fat Boy, but come to find out, Eddie Lacy has been to Jenny Craig or something. He's all slim. He reported to Seahawks slim. For those of you who don't know by now, Green Bay running back Eddie Lacy has signed with the Seattle Seahawks. Pep, your thoughts on Lacy?
Well, I thought
lacing him up for the
why
Hawks.
not? I think it's pretty good. He's not going to be asked to be the feature back here. He's just going to be pretty much short yardage, I would think. Something they don't have here now.
Actually, no. He is going to be the featured back.
Okay, I'm mistaken then.
It
happens.
That's what Pete Carroll said.
You know, he's Pete Carroll. Man, he says stuff
He the coach.
all the time. Yeah, he is. Okay, well, I stand corrected then.
You're not feeling that, I see. You're not feeling him being a feature back?
No.
Why?
Well,
have you looked at his per carry average?
No, I haven't.
That dude's per carry average is ridiculous. I mean, he was a baller.
Is that per carry the football or the plate?
See, you still hating on him.
No, I like him. I want him here.
Eddie Lacy is trim. And not only that, Pep, his contract is only like $2-something million, and the rest of it is
I got his numbers right here.
The rest,
he's guaranteed.
He's got food incentives in there.
He's got
no Chinese food after 11 o'clock.
He's got a guaranteed 2.8, including the signing bonus of 1.5. The average salary for 1 year, if he makes all the incentives, he's going to get about $4.2 million. He's got $55,000 in May if he comes in at 255 pounds. Another $55,000 in June, July, and August if he's at 250. And then for the rest of the season, another $55,000 if he's at 240. And so the additional incentives will be about $1.3 million.
See? He's incentivized.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to run to get paid.
Yes.
So his per carry average last year, before he got hurt, he was averaging 5.1 yards per carry.
That's fun. Whew, that's crazy. That's good.
His career average is 4.4.
So that's a first down on 3 runs.
Yes. Yes.
And that's what Seattle wants to do. They want to run you to death, get first downs. That's what they want to do.
The secret to Seattle is a strong running game that leads to a strong play-action passing game.
Yes. And then you don't have to focus so much on that offensive line protection.
Well, you don't have to focus on them blocking either, because you got a back that gets yards after the contact.
Right.
And that's what Eddie Lacy does. That's what Marshawn Lynch did.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first guy can't get him down, and he gets to the second level. That's how you get 4 yards per carry.
Yes.
So, on average. So, I'm really excited about the acquisition of Eddie Lacy. I mean, we need to do something, man. And we just signed somebody else. I don't even know. Some no-name guard. Lineman, and we're getting all these no-name.
Well, they signed offensive lineman Luke Jokel. I think we mentioned that in the last broadcast, and then they signed a kid from the Texans, Abushi, who I don't know much about, to be honest.
O'Day Abushi.
Right.
Played for the Texans. I don't know. I don't know much about him either. I know he started 14 games.
And I know Ryan Clady had a visit Friday, but I haven't heard anything about that from the Jets.
I would not be excited about Ryan Clady either, because he was garbage with the Jets. So,
well, the Jets were garbage with the Jets.
Well, he contributed to that pile. So Abushi is 6'5", 308 pounds. Spent his first 2 seasons with the New York Jets, starting 10 games at left guard in 2014. He spent the past 2 seasons, like we said, with the Houston Texans, appearing in 11 games with 8 starts. So the thing that he does have for him is experience.
Right.
And I think that what the Seahawks suffered from this past season, with all these cats on the O-line that were doing everything for the first time, in Fetty, Britt at center for the first time.
Right.
What's the tackle's name? The dude playing tackle that used to be a hooper.
Oh, yeah. I forget his name. It escapes me.
See, they got forgettable players for the Seahawks, y'all. I can't think of his name either. But he played basketball at West Virginia. I do remember that.
Yeah.
And played college football, but he played tight end at West Virginia for 1 year, and then the Seahawks switched him to offensive tackle, and he was not very good at that. But they are believing that he's going to be good this year, so we'll see about that.
Well, please be better than last year. Please.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I'm always excited about the beginning of football. I'm excited for the draft. I'm glad they moved the draft back up to April.
Yeah, late April. I think the 27th.
Wasn't it May last year?
May last year. I don't know.
It seemed like it took forever to come last year. Yeah, April's a lot better for the draft. So when I get back from New Orleans, I can look forward to the NFL draft. I mean, it's always good to see who goes where and see what the mastermind John Snyder and his partner Pete Carroll can come up with in the draft. We do good in the draft. We haven't done well drafting linemen though, have we?
No, not at all.
At least not drafting them and keeping them. They go someplace else and
flourish.
but we'll see. We'll see about that. To the NBA. We talked about this on a prior show too.
Definitely.
I'm glad that if you all are listening to Lidline Sports, you normally are getting information as it happens. We are on top of things. We talked about this a few broadcasts ago.
Yes.
NBA players sitting out,
Resting.
not hurt, not playing. Now it's finally come to a head. The commissioner had to step in today. Commissioner Adam Silver stepped in today on this whole thing after I think LeBron and K-Love and Kyrie all sat out, and then LeBron released a statement saying something like, well, we need rest in order to be our best to play for a championship. And the NBA can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, and the game they sat out, they got smoked out 108-78 by the Clippers, which no surprise.
Yeah, well, I just think that it's just all bad to me. Like, to have your stars sitting out. And I'm listening to people justifying it now. I'm like, first of all, you dudes are entertainers.
Right.
Right? You're not an entertainer like Denzel. You are a competitive entertainer.
Correct.
You're an entertainer that competes. All right? So if you're an entertainer that competes, people are paying their money to come see you entertain them in competition.
Yes.
Right?
Definitely.
Yeah, so if you pay your money to come be entertained by the top entertainer and the entertainer's not there, or the entertainer's sitting on the bench eating popcorn and ain't nothing wrong with him, that's a problem.
It is.
Right? Now, wouldn't you be mad? I know you said before that you went to Broadway, you saw Fences.
Yes, I did, and I saw Denzel in a play.
Okay, so if you paid your money, Broadway tickets cost a whole lot of money, y'all. If you pay your money to go see Denzel in Fences, and when you get there, Denzel sitting in the audience with you eating popcorn, and Dave Chappelle up there doing Fences.
Oh no, I'm not like that.
No, you will not.
No.
No, you will not. Like Dave Chappelle in no serious role.
No. And I'll tell you a quick story. I surprised my wife with tickets to see Fantasia in Color Purple.
Right.
But it was Sunday.
Your wife, your ex-wife, your
Ex-wife.
girlfriend. Which one?
Well, she was my wife then. Okay. I'm not like my man.
Okay.
We'll get to that one. Please, let's get to that one.
Okay.
But anyway, we went to see Color Purple, and it was a Sunday, so I was praying and hoping that Fantasia would show up. And lo and behold, when the curtain opened, there she stood. So I was quite happy, and so was the wife then. So it worked out. So for this instance,
was Fantasia good?
Oh, she was outstanding.
Bring the house down?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So for this.
But for this, I would be.
Well, what if the curtain opened and it wasn't Fantasia?
Oh man, I would have been hurt. Because I did it for her. It was for her birthday,
right.
Whatever. So I would have been extremely disappointed.
That's my point.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
These fans work their butts off to get these high NBA tickets to take their kid to go see these stars, and they get to the arena, sit down, buy $40 worth of hot dogs and popcorn, right? Probably more than that.
It's one hot dog and one piece of popcorn. That'll be 40-77.
Right? And the stars aren't even playing.
No.
That's the problem.
It is. Even Karl Malone spoke out.
What did Carl say?
Well, Sage Steele tweeted that Karl Malone, if you don't have at least 10 years experience, get your behind playing. It's not work. It's called playing. Tell our underpaid service members and police and first responders to rest. Damn it, they can't. So he was quite vocal on that issue.
Yeah. Commissioner Silver in a memo informs teams that the issue will be a prime topic of discussion at the next NBA Board of Governors meeting April 6th in New York, and warned of significant penalties for teams that don't abide by the league's standing rules for providing notice to the league office, their opponent, and the media immediately upon determination that a player will not participate in a game due to rest.
Well, ESPN and ABC analyst Jeff Van Gundy said that for him, they should be prosecutable offense.
Van Gundy's tripping.
Yeah, he's always tripping.
Prosecutable. Well, I think the commissioner has a right. I mean, there is so much money involved in today's NBA with the broadcasting rights. The broadcasters pay a lot of money for the NBA product, and the broadcast games, like the Saturday game where nobody played.
Well, Golden State Warriors, when they sat out those guys against San Antonio.
Right. So just think, if you're the broadcaster, and you paid all that money for that game, you don't even get the stars.
No.
That's whack. So the broadcasters and the fans are the ones who suffer the most. And so the commissioner's trying to do something about it. I'm not altogether sure. Your thoughts on this? The problem from the players' perspective, they say that they wouldn't have to sit out if the league wouldn't have scheduled so many back-to-back games in so many days. Like, I think Golden State went on a road trip, 12-day road trip where they played 8 games.
Wow. Well, there's talk of trying to shorten the season, but the owner's not going to go for that.
Well, now there's talk of starting the season earlier and expanding All-Star Weekend to give them more rest.
Whatever. But, I mean, are you talking like...
not more games, just the length of the season.
I got you, because, I mean, the length of the season is long enough. I mean, MLS...
Not as long as hockey, not as long as baseball.
Not as long as soccer. MLS started in early March, and they don't finish till November.
They don't really end, but okay. MLS never win. It seems like they just had the championship, and 2 weeks later they're starting up again.
Yes, so. That's my point.
Yeah.
So is the NBA going to start early October, end of September? But see, a lot of people were still into the NFL at that time. They're not ready for the NBA.
Well, you have your core NBA. You have your core NBA fans.
Right.
So, I think if they started, reduce the preseason games and started the season earlier, they could do that. We'll see. Something has to be done. They can't keep going down this road. And I think I was thinking about it today, and it may just be a ploy by the players to get the league to stop doing back-to-back games and stop doing so many games in a week. If they had not done this and sat out these games, nobody would be talking about that issue, and it would continue to go on.
Yeah.
So the resolution from this is going to be not so many back-to-back games, and definitely not back-to-back games with teams that would be playing in primetime games or televised games, nationally televised games.
Right. So
the players will make out from that. The other issue is they have a new collective bargaining agreement with the players and the league coming up, so they will negotiate all of that in the new CBA. So we'll have to stay tuned to see if the commissioner is going to fine somebody and then what kind of fine is going to be. He said there's going to be, quote, significant penalties, unquote.
Well, someone's going to try it.
Yeah.
Just to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, and in the words of Boom Boom Ray from the movie Life, there are going to be some consequences and repercussions. So we will see what the commission does. Do you think the Cavs are poised to repeat?
Well, they're trying to load up. I mean, they're resting their players. They're acquiring everybody in the nation. So, yeah, well, it looks like that's what they're doing.
Looks like Houston is going to give Golden State and San Antonio a run in the West. James Harden is just straight out, flat out balling right now.
Yeah, if there's a sleeper team out there, that's them.
They are the sleeper team, the Houston Rockets. Mike D'Antoni getting it done once again. He'll never win a championship, I don't think, with that style of play, but he'll definitely get you into the playoffs and down the road with it.
He'll make it so that you don't want to face them. That'll be the team in the playoffs you don't want to see.
No, you don't want to see the Rockets. But also, too, they haven't been there before, and I don't know if they have players that will flourish in the playoffs. The regular season and the playoffs are two different animals, and so it is yet to be seen how well the Houston Rockets will do in the play. Did they go out in the first round last year?
Ooh.
I think they did.
Probably.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens with them. Now, back to what we were talking about. Your wife and your girlfriend?
No. I don't have that. I don't have either.
No, but I saw a video of this soccer player, Muhammad Anas, who...
Not so honest.
It's not honest, it's anus.
I know.
A-N-A-S. It should be anus.
Because that's what he acted like.
He straight up, he got an award, y'all. It was called the Man of the Match for the 2 goals that he scored to win the game. And then in the post-game interview, he said, I want to thank my wife for he said, I want to thank everybody that believed in me. I want to thank my wife, my girlfriend. I want to thank, no, I love my wife.
Boy, he tried hard. Then afterwards, he tried to say he was talking about his daughter. I mean, how can you get that mixed up? And I heard another excuse that he recently got married, so he was thinking of her as his girlfriend. Blah blah blah.
He got caught up in the moment. So, for y'all that don't know, if you got a side piece and somebody puts the microphone in your face and you start handing out thank you
accolades,
you start handing out thank yous, you better be thinking about what's getting ready to come out of your mouth before it comes out of your mouth. Back to March Madness. We're down to the Sweet 16.
Yes.
In the East, we've got Wisconsin at Baylor.
Yes.
No. Yep.
No. Florida's playing Wisconsin.
Whoa. I'm ahead of myself. I'm already to the Elite 8. My bad.
Slow down, partner.
Slow my roll. My East bracket is so marked up, y'all. Look like somebody took a ink pen to it and got crazy with it. So.
Baylor's playing South Carolina.
No, I got it now. I'm on the right.
Okay.
16, March 23rd to the 24th. I haven't got to the Elite 8 yet. It's Wisconsin and Florida. Baylor and South Carolina. Mm-hmm. That's the matchup in Madison Square Garden that nobody really wants to see. It would have been Duke and Villanova that they were looking forward to seeing in the Elite 8, but that's not going to happen.
No.
And then Gonzaga and West Virginia.
That is correct.
And Xavier in Arizona in the West.
Yep.
Now, Pep.
Man.
Tell the folk, look at the clean side of the right side of my bracket.
Man.
Look at the left side of my bracket.
Listen, the left side looked like some old chitlins.
The left side
and the right side looked like a wedding cake.
The right side is clean.
Perfect.
I'm good to go on the right. So Kansas at Purdue.
Yes.
Oregon and Michigan. We talked a little bit about that earlier.
We did. North Carolina plays Butler.
And the game of the week.
Kentucky and UCLA.
Kentucky at UCLA. That is the game of the week.
Yes. That's the number. Actually, they've got the games ranked in order of, interest, I guess you might want to say. Because the number 8 game would be Baylor and South Carolina, then Florida, Wisconsin, Arizona, Xavier, Kansas, Purdue, Oregon, Michigan, North Carolina, Butler, Gonzaga, West Virginia, and the number 1, as we said, Kentucky and UCLA. And they played each other earlier in the season, back in December. And I said in the last broadcast, you got to throw that out because the teams that you saw in December will not be the same team you see in March.
And you were correct because Kentucky is definitely not the same team that lost to UCLA.
No.
UCLA is not the same team either. But I'll get back to that. Wisconsin and Florida, who do you like?
I'm going to go with Wisconsin. I like the bigs they got, and I like what they've been doing the first two games. I haven't seen Florida at all. I'm not going to lie about that. But from what I've seen from Wisconsin, I think it'll be a tough matchup for Florida.
So you like Wisconsin
in this
because
game.
You haven't seen Florida at all. That'll do it.
Hey, I've seen Wisconsin. I like what I saw. What can I tell you?
I'm surprised Florida has gotten this far. I mean, they are overachieving. I watched Florida during the season,
but they're a number 4 seed, and Wisconsin is number 8 seed.
But I thought they were given that 4 seed for their name for Florida. I didn't think that they really earned a 4 seed, but they are proving me wrong. And I'm going to go with Wisconsin. I really absolutely love Wisconsin's Nigel Hayes.
Yes.
The big dude. I love everything about that kid, man. I love his game. I love his personality. I love his consciousness. For those of you who don't know, Nigel Hayes is leading the charge, a lawsuit against the NC2A to get kids paid. And like he said, he's like, I'm not talking about asking the NCAA for $100,000.
Right.
But we need to get paid something because they're making billions of dollars off of us right now. Right now. And he's like, last year, our ASB card or whatever it is, money ran out the last 2 weeks. And we didn't have no money to get no food, no nothing. And he's like, this is crazy. It makes no sense.
It doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense that I'm making this university billions of dollars and I'm broke. Right?
Yeah.
So I really respect that young man for the stand that he's taking, and I love his personality. I was watching him on ESPN, the show with Michael Smith and Jamel Hill, the Six, and he was cracking me up, man. He's got a great personality, well-spoken kid, and wish him all the best in his endeavors and the Wisconsin Badgers.
Hey, go Badgers.
I'm sure Russell Wilson will be saying that same thing. Go Badgers.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he graduated from or matriculated from or spent his final year quarterbacking.
Right.
He went to NC State first.
Right, graduated from there and then did some, then went to Wisconsin.
Right. So, Baylor, South Carolina.
Ooh. Baylor has been hot. And you know what? Here's a tidbit I bet you probably don't know. That DJ Dozier of South Carolina, his mother is from here.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, I went to high school with his mother.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Where? Roosevelt?
Oh, boy. I went to Cleveland.
Cleveland?
Oh, you're funny.
She's a Cleveland Eagle, huh?
Yes.
What's her name?
I'm not shouting out folks' name now. But DJ Dozier, his mom.
DJ Dozier's mama.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
If DJ Dozier... if DJ Dozier gets busy on Saturday and his mom's at the game, everybody's gonna know her name.
That's correct.
They're gonna splash her
all
over
over
the
TV.
TV.
Splash it then.
Like they was
I'm not
doing
splashing
Julia
nothing
Dreyfus
now.
at the Wisconsin. Was it the Wisconsin game?
No,
Who
Gonzaga.
did son play for?
Northwestern.
Northwestern. Yeah.
Which I don't remember even seeing him.
Speaking of Gonzaga, I'm going with Baylor. Speaking of Gonzaga, West Virginia. Who you got?
West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Yes.
Well, you know I'm not taking Gonzaga.
Heck no.
Somebody better beat Gonzaga.
Yeah, but
Gonzaga's playing tough though, man. I'm not gonna lie about it.
You're right.
You talk about a team, man. They got everything you want in a team. You know what I mean? They got great point guard play. They got bigs. They got shooters. They got guys that can create their own shot.
And you know what else they got? Bob Huggins, and that guy is scary.
I'm talking about Gonzaga, not West Virginia.
Oh, well, sorry, I missed that one.
Because I'm never talking about Gonzaga.
I was focused on West Virginia. I thought for sure there's no way he's giving accolades like that to Gonzaga.
Nigel Williams-Goss, or Goss-Williams, which way is it? I don't know. Williams-Goss. That dude is balling.
He is.
I mean, he's so poised. He's so poised. He's calm. He's good with the ball. He controls the game. If his size is smaller than him, he'll post you up and they'll put him in the post. I hate Gonzaga.
I know.
West Virginia, press and trap. Give them 40 minutes of hell. They press and trap like nobody else.
Yes. Oh, Huggins. Huggins
there?
Yeah. He's that Bob Knight type scary coach. Man, you don't want to mess up when he's on the sideline. Oh, my God.
There's Bob Huggins. There's Bob Huggins. What makes his defense defensive trapping so effective? He goes, probably not that many people do it. I'm like, yeah, Bob, people do press and trap, but not all game in 3 different places. They trap you in the full court. They'll trap you three-quarter court. They'll trap you half court, and they'll trap you in the front court. And so. They just trap all over the floor. I love watching them play, man. That's like my style of basketball.
Right.
I'm like, create offense.
Heck, they should have beat Kansas in Kansas that day.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, blew a 14-point lead with 3 minutes to go. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe that was a wake-up call for them.
I hope so.
Xavier, Arizona.
Wow. That's a... I'm going to go with Zona. But Xavier's, I mean, I already got a sleeper in Michigan, but if it wasn't Michigan, that would be them.
Whew, we ran out of time. So, in the Elite Eight, because we won't be able to talk to you until next week, and this will already happen, I'm going Wisconsin and Baylor, with Baylor to get to the Final Four, West Virginia, Arizona, with Arizona to get to the Final Four. Kansas.
It's a little early to be talking Final Four now.
No, because after this weekend, it will be the Final Four.
Right.
By the time we come back and talk to our fans, how y'all doing?
Hey.
Holler at us at lidlinesports@yahoo.com. Give me your other side of the bracket. I just gave you mine. To the Final Four.
All right. Well, I told you I like UCLA. I like Arizona.
On the right side of the bracket.
Yeah, Kansas.
You got Kansas?
Yeah.
And you got UCLA?
Yes, Kansas,
okay.
UCLA. Sorry.
All right. So he's got
Kansas. Can't read the scratch there.
Yeah, well, my mom says my writing is stingy. But I'm just such a generous man at heart. Don't believe that. Anyway, it's been great. Time is up. On behalf of Renault, Pipe, Bean, I'm Granville Emerson.
Yes.
Thank you for listening to Lidline Sports. You can listen to Lidline Sports on Facebook, YouTube, and find us on Twitter at Lidline Sports. Join us again next week for more great sports talk radio.
Final Four.
On Lidline Sports. Sports as we see it from just below our lids. I just want you to know that I got Kentucky and Kansas coming out of that side of the bracket, Villanova and Arizona, in the Final Four. We'll be back next week to talk to you about it.
You can't have Villanova. They're done.
Oh, my bad. Wisconsin.
Oh, man.